Hello everyone, in this video I'm rehousing some old worlds, and I've brought this video forwards for Lil because she's just sort of been surprised by an OBT, dark colourform Kagoma, which is what I'm about to rehouse in this video. I've got two of those, and she's got a Cyropagopus lividus, I think it is. I'm saying that right, I hope. Yeah, and with no disrespect, obviously you're more of a beginner than I am. I'm no expert. I don't want people watching my videos and ever thinking I'm an expert. I do this because I like to make friends in the hobby and show people what I'm up to, and it's a record for me really. I'm not trying to be some kind of giant YouTuber or anything. But anyway, in this video, I'm looking back at it, it's not best practice. That both of my OBTs are getting on for sort of 5-ish centimeters, could be more actually, 4 or 5 centimeters like that, I think. In that video, I did it a few weeks ago. It's bigger now, and that's big enough to break your skin. And you'll see one of them runs around that pot, and I'm picking the pot up, putting it down, picking the pot up, putting it down. So it's not best practice. You shouldn't get your hands that close to them. That spider, it's not that they're aggressive or nasty or anything like that. They think you're trying to kill them. So their defense to being killed, or what they think is being killed, is to bite someone. And certain old world species are more likely to bite than others. And obviously the OBT is one of them that is more likely to, and the lividus actually. They're both in the same sort of category. They're more advanced of the old worlds. I know that you've got Balfouri, and Balfouri are less advanced in the old worlds. So is a Darlingi, something like that. They're less likely to do anything. And the Darlingi is the other one I do in this video. Couldn't find my footage of the Balfouri. But anyway, I rehouse 3-4 spiders a week on average, I suppose. And so I'm getting better. But I've only been in this hobby a year and 4 months, I think it is. I was working out the other day. This is 11th of August 2023. So I've been at a year and 5 months, I think it is, or a year and 4 months. Yeah, so I'm no expert. I don't do this. I don't want people watching what I do and thinking this is the best way of doing it and this is an expert. This is just how I'm doing it, and I'm learning. I'm trying to learn better every time. So this isn't what I do in this video. I wouldn't say I would do again. Certainly not with the OBTs, and not the next time these OBTs will be even bigger. You do not want your fingers anywhere close to them. I mean, when they're 1 to 2 centimeters, I'd say is about the least time when you could do it, because they couldn't get through the skin in your hands. You might be able to get through the skin in your arms, so you've still got to be careful. So that's just my little piece on this. Be careful if you get yourself an OBT, and don't get your fingers too close. And there's a lot of videos out. I watch loads of tarantula videos, and a lot of people are very blasé about it and getting very close to them. And realistically, I think everyone should be a lot more careful. Things can happen. You don't want to be that person who gets bitten. Anyway, with all that said, enjoy the video. Bye. Okay, so I've put a bit of water in there. This is going to be for the Ceratogyrus Darlingi. So it likes to burrow, so it's going to want as much as I can put in there really. I've actually already measured this out. I'm cheating a little bit here. Water for the moss. Moss. Everybody loves a bit of moss, especially Simon. I know this is boring you to tears, Simon, all this very similar rehousings. This is the way it goes. This is the exciting bit, because he's a speedy old world. You will not be looking forward to this. So I'm probably quite unlikely to get pictures. But I'm just getting him in without him running off is key here. Okay, so it's hiding away. That's a bad thing right now, actually. Go that way. Den only goes down this way, so you here. Yep, see his bum. Packing on a bit of size. I'm actually showing you what I'm showing. You can see him there. Hunkered right down. You're gonna move, mate. Not move, I think. It's going to force me to do something like this. Just slide that under you. Here we are. Right, he's on the move. We'll just go into there like that. Yes, perfect. I'll keep him in there. Maybe long enough for a photograph would be good. Let's try that. Okay, so that went pretty well actually. Just did one big jump and landed in there. I think I learnt my lesson from the Balfour. No sign of any horn yet. Obviously this is the rear horn baboon. They get a sort of black horn that sticks out backwards. Nobody's completely sure what the horns are for. It's not got it yet anyway. Hello, so I'm now going to try and rehouse an OBT, this dark colour form, Kigoma. As you can see, the moss is not touching the ground, and these sticks are purely there to create a framework for webbing up here. And like things like a leaf there, although it's not doing a lot at the moment, that's perfect for webbing. I've done this quite a few times. Yeah, so this is what I would do for a GBB as well. A bit of off the ground and giving it some space for webbing. There's a bit of substrate in the bottom there if it really wanted to, but I don't suspect it's really going to be that bothered about making a web about it. Now, I've given myself the option here. There's a space down the side there that I could actually fit the tub that it's in. If I really want to, I can just drop that in there, and that's that. I might have to force it in a little bit. I'm going to attempt to get it to come out and go in there, though. I think. Give it a go. See what happens. We're in the rehousing tub, so worst that could happen is it runs off in there somewhere. He says, famous last words. Okay. So you look in there, as you can see. Just a web den tunnel now. I can't get to the water bowl anymore. Not that that's the biggest issue with these, but the only way this is going to work is if I take some of this out. And what I'm doing is removing webbing. It comes out with it, then I'll drop it straight in, but it's not. Okay, that's good. Get the water bowl out, which is now upside down. Get the water bowl out, mate. Mainly because I don't want the water bowl falling on it or anything. Delicate point. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, the spider is actually a reasonable size down there. So the tricky bit here is I'll get it in from here to there. In the instance, I don't care if the soil goes in. Right. Okay, let's just go for it. Let's film this, shall we? Beautiful looking spider. In fact, this is a good time for a photo actually. Let's stop this for a second. Okay, we're back out for the video. Let's see how hard or easy it's going to be to make it get out of this tub and into that one. It's on the tub. Okay. I'll just let go of it because I can see it running around the back. Oh yeah. It's on the tub still. Okay. I think this happened before. There it is. Come off the tub, please. Could have been a good photo opportunity at the very least. I did this the first time. I'm going to get off this tub. Onto that leaf. Right. Okay. It's running around this side of the tub now. Now it's on the top. Nope. It's back in. Right. That's not going to plan, is it, mate? No. Can you just let go of this tub? Really? Yes, right, it's in. Okay. It's in and it's scurried off down under that moss, which is kind of what I was hoping and expecting. It's there. Can't see it very well, but that doesn't really matter. The point is it's in now, having run round the tub about 3 times. Which was sort of expected, to be honest. Now, this thing has a habit of completely webbing up its water bowl. Until I can't use it, but anyway. It's going to start off with a water bowl. Let's start off with good intentions. They don't need much moisture at all. This moss is not here to live. It's just here to building blocks. So a few drips around there. I've only just made this enclosure and I've put a lot of holes in it, as you can see, and holes on the top. 5 holes on the top. So anyway, that's one down. It's a similar amount of space that the Chilobrachys has got, except for the Chilobrachys has got a much deeper one because the Chilobrachys needs a lot of substrate for burrowing and for keeping the moisture in, whereas this doesn't want the moisture in at all. So So anyway, I'm quite happy with that. That's one down. Okay, so we're ready for OBT number 2. Very similar setup, as you can see. Well, it's the same setup really. It's bits of bamboo, old dead bamboo out of the garden. I've snapped off because that comes in sort of nice wigglamy type. Wigglamy, so nice sort of shapes like this, which are good for constructing things like this. And the moss is deliberately not poked down too well, and it's funny angles. And I find a nice leaf at a funny angle is a perfect webbing anchor. I'm sure it'll completely change that. Anyway, let's see what this one's like. I know one of them's bigger than the other, always has been. They get fed at the same time. Okay, so no actual visual as yet. Let's see where he is. And if he sits on this web, like he is doing, oh, he's much darker coloured, this one. Can we see him? See, he's much darker. Gorgeous. Beautiful looking spider he is. Much easier rehouse, so I'm just going to drop this. But I want to try and get a photo first. Okay, so I've got a few photos, and then I've just sort of dropped it on top like that. I think I would like, well, certainly like his water bowl out. It's got a water bowl down there, so it's dropped out. But I would certainly like him to start again, really. I don't really want him to have to use this old webbing. I have done that for other species in the past. A bit messy this, isn't he? I don't want to start him off with an old water bowl. I'm sure I'll end up with one. Okay, so far so good. He's not going to like me disturbing him, but he's much bigger. This is the big one. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Classic OBT, that is. He didn't like that, did he? He didn't want me to touch him. I'm surprised. I mean, I'd be a bit angry if someone came at me with a big brush like that. Okay, so I'm not vastly experienced with OBTs, but what I do know is when you upset one like this, the best thing to do is put the lid on and ignore it. Leave it to settle down. You don't carry on messing about with it. Or live without a water bowl till tomorrow. Anyway, so we've got a nice in fact, I should take a photo before I put the lid on. Let's do that. It's not on the next day, but it is a bit later. I've noticed that my OBT did get a bit angry with me. He's calmed down and been wandering around, so I'll risk giving him his water bowl now. Even though he's an OBT and water bowls are not a big thing for them, I don't like not giving any spider a water bowl. Not exactly help his mood with it. Now I wouldn't mind taking that out, but I've seen him climbing around on it. Yeah, he wants to keep that. That's plainly obvious, so he's going to keep it. Okay, so this is actually how those setups have ended up. After, what, 2 weeks I think it is? So I filmed the other bit. You can see that a lot of webbing up high. One of them's at the top there. They were spread out a bit more earlier on. They generally live on top, and they're on display quite a lot, these two, and they're a lot bigger than I thought. And this one, the small one, where I put the stakes in the ground, it's kind of made a sort of raised area. It's covered in soil, just there. It's actually living in the burrow at the back there. Yeah, it's used the height. And the adult down here, we'll be lucky if you see any of her. Sometimes I see her toes at the back there. Saw her earlier on today, just sort of, she sits in that back area, but she's very shy. She's got an arboreal setup. Yeah, so this is the grumpy one. So if I'm honest, I'm now wishing I'd actually put them in even higher than this. This is, oh, I don't know, 6 inches, something like that. But I've got bigger versions over here, which one's got the Chilaracus in, one's got the H. gigas. They do really well in there, but they need more soil. But I could have put these two in those as well, and they'd have been alright. Even extra height. Just another tip from me on Old World. Well, any spider. This has really helped. This is my rehousing tub. It won't work for when they're in the adult enclosures, but anything smaller, slings and juveniles. and I call this my rehousing tub. I will get the video of my balfs because they really go for it around the inside. It's done it twice. I've had it with the mainly the old worlds really, but we get out and jump around. It's not a problem. When you start getting them out, let them go. It doesn't matter. And this is the perfect tub for it. So it's got a lip. So they often like to come up and they get under the lip and just sit there. And I put all this mess in there is on purpose. They run down there and hide there. Run down there, hide there. See what I mean? This is what you want. A little cricket tub. They'd be straight out and off across the table and on the floor. So this is my advice if you haven't. I mean, if you've got a purpose-built table and you can put one of those lips on, like what's it called, Dave's Little Beasties or Jaden from Mr. Grinner's Creatures, where they've got the table and it comes up with a lip that goes over that way, so it does the same thing as this. But if you haven't got the space or the time to do that or whatever, then this is the next best thing. You know, you can have it without the lid on, but they will just keep going. There's nothing to stop them; they just keep going. So So that's just a little tip on. That's the sort of size of a rehousing tub that works really well for me. It's no good for the if I'm moving a large spider from one to the other. It's just too big. I mean, too small. But anyway, just thought I'd add that. Hey.